You don't need to have a presence in order to go viral, in order to get followers. That's 80,000 people that are seeing you, that are seeing your name, your face, your brand. That's power. That's leverage. How many times should we post? We've got to be posting every single day if you want to win and if you want to get those results. What should we post? The first type of content that I want to cover is just this past week, we got our 4 clients, combined 1,024,000 views, predominantly from one extremely viral video that we're super excited about. Maybe we'll even break that down today on this episode. But I really want to put an emphasis on the realtors out there, the people that are trying to grow their businesses, that don't know how to post content consistently and get a little bit self-conscious, because even though you're a salesperson, you still need to know how to market yourself, because you don't want to always have to go out and chase your leads. You want your leads coming to you. But how can we make that happen without spending an egregious amount of money on Google Ads and going to 18 networking meetings a day? And that's through content. And I want to break down some pretty cool strategies on how we can get that done. But before we get into the strategies, I think there's a mindset frame that we need to take before we even start creating content. How do we need to market ourselves? And I am of the belief that you need to be the go-to guide for your market. You've all heard it, whether you're a part of Tom Ferry or Brian Buffini, they tell you that you need to be the person in your marketplace. When people are wondering what's going on in the market, they need to know that you're the person to go to. And I want to take this a step further. You don't just need to be the local real estate expert, but you need to be the local city expert. How can we make that happen? Through content creation? And that's what we're going to be covering today. But understand that that is the number one goal that we have anytime we create content. So, first question that I always get from people is, how many times should I post? How much should I post? How do I need to post? All that sort of stuff, right? And you need to post every single day. If you want to get the results that you want to get, you got to post every single day, because I've posted for people 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and 7 times a week. In the beginning, the people that are posting 7 times a week versus 4 times a week, they get almost the same exact results. But what happens when you're posting every single day versus a few times a week is you start collecting data. You start to get better at the stuff, because the more that you practice and the more data you collect on what works and what doesn't, the faster you're able to fix the problems and figure out what works and what doesn't. So anytime that we posted a few times a week for somebody versus 7 times a week, the person we post 7 times a week for tends to go viral within 6 to 8 to 12 months. Posting 4 times a week, there is absolutely no guarantee that it's going to happen within that 6 to 8 to 12 months, because you just don't have enough volume. It becomes really difficult to have something that hits when you're only able to try a couple different things every single week. Just think about that difference, right? You've got 3 times a week versus 7 times a week. The person posting 7 times a week is getting twice as much data. And when you get twice as much data, you're actually moving like 5 times as fast. Minimum twice as fast, but honestly, you're really moving 5 times as fast. So how many times should we post? We've got to be posting every single day if you want to win and if you want to get those results. What should we post? The first type of content that I want to cover is authentic day-in-the-life content. If you're a realtor, you're constantly on the move. You're constantly moving and going and meeting new people, looking at different homes. You should be filming every aspect of your day and showing people what you're up to, even on the days that you're not really doing a bunch of stuff business-wise, but you may be doing some stuff personally. If you're out on the town, if you're going to a restaurant, if you're going to a winery, if you're going to do different things in your city, you should be documenting it. Even though it doesn't directly relate back to real estate, you're showing off your city and you're an advocate for your city. And if that content goes viral, it may increase the likelihood of somebody wanting to move there, or maybe they just like the sort of content you're putting out. They follow you. They keep seeing you post about your amazing city. And they're like, you know what? I kind of like to live there. I live over here. I want to live over there. And then when you post your call to action, they reach out to you to buy a house there. Or maybe they decide they want to sell a house, right? So my point being, you need to be documenting every single day on what you're doing and posting that authentic content. People want relatability. People want authenticity, not just manufactured stuff. They both work, but authenticity is a great way to get started. Second thing that I think you should be posting is business and restaurant and small business reviews. What businesses is your town known for? What kind of hole-in-the-wall spots do most people not know about that might be super, super cool that you love? Go and test out some of those places. That content absolutely goes crazy on social media. And I'll give you an example of this and I'll pull it up. Give me just 1 second here, because we used to do this sort of content all the time with one of our realtor clients, and we posted super consistently with it, probably 2 or 3 of these videos a week. And there was a few that got close to 1 million views. I know it was over 500,000. I don't know the exact number, but I'm going to go and find it for you guys right now. Okay. Found one that did 17.5, found one that did 39.5. But I'm looking for, found another one that did 35.9. I might as well just show you guys almost all these ones. But I'm looking for one specific one that did, here's one that did 12.2 thousand. And if you can get in and interview the business owner, that's even better. All right. Here's one that did that did 203,000 on Instagram. I know that it did just as well, if not better, on TikTok as well. But I'm going to watch this one with you guys.
Pretty good.
How much is one rib? How much for one rib?
One rib.
One rib.
I sure am hungry.
So these are the 3-bone plate beef ribs. $115 a rack, $40 for a single bone.
What's the difference in flavor between a beef rib and a pork rib?
It is like baseball and football. Beef ribs, if you ever have braised short ribs and it's like that sticky, like lip smacking, gelatinous kind of, it's just, it's all the good things that you want in beef. It's rich, deep, fatty. It is not low calorie, but they're just big and beefy and delicious.
There you go. So that was our video that got 203,000 views on Instagram. It did just as well on TikTok and YouTube and all those platforms. But what you notice on this is we're promoting immediately in the video, within the first 3 seconds, you see that we're highlighting the business and the city that it's at. So maybe people travel here and try it. Maybe people are interested. And then the more and more we post about good businesses in the area, the more likely they are to want to live in that area. But when we go in and we interview this business owner about something in his restaurant, sometimes there's things that will kind of pop off the page, whether it's their personality, a specific dish that's super cool that people want to know about, and that sort of entertainment type of stuff, people love to consume, which makes it go viral. So we're just looking for unique little features, whether it be personality or product, when we go to these businesses, and we want to highlight those things. So going out to the different small businesses and other restaurants in your area will perform super, super well. Food content always seems to perform well. So if you're a realtor, go and try out some of the local restaurants and highlight those. I think that's a huge, huge leverage play that you can have when you're creating content. The next one is going to be house tours with target market houses. Now, let me break this down. You don't want to be going and showing off Ruby Hill houses, which are $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 million houses, and that's in Livermore, if your target market can't afford anything more than a $500,000 to $700,000 house. It's pointless. Understand who your target market is and go show them houses in your market that are within their price range, that they might actually be looking to buy or sell if that's how you're targeting the content. So do those house tours in different creative ways within that target market buy box, right? And there's a ton of different ways that you can do house tours. It doesn't need to just be kind of the basic walkthrough with the drone, right? That's basic. That's boring. We don't want to be basic and boring because then you don't separate yourself from your competition. We want to be different. One of the guys, his name is Trent Miller. He's gone absolutely crazy on social media, Instagram, TikTok, all the platforms by doing what he calls speed tours. Well, he'll run through the house and do goofy shit the whole time and just basically have fun while doing a sprint through the house, showing off the different parts of the house that are unique, right? You can do something very similar, but in different ways. Maybe you tell a joke in each one of the rooms of the house. Maybe you do something, maybe you're wearing a different outfit in each part of the house. Maybe you're making fun of each part of the house in a fun, but not abrasive way. There's so many different things that you can do when trying to show off a house. So get creative, get into your think box, and just get it done. But you got to show off houses because you still want to be known as a realtor. So show off what makes your city unique as far as the real estate is concerned. That's the third piece of content that I would do. The fourth piece of content I would do is city tours and guides. What parks are in your city? What neighborhoods are in your city? What makes them unique? Do you have any wineries in your city? What kind of things make your city unique outside of the small businesses and restaurants? Let's think on a broader spectrum here. So we've got parks, neighborhoods. Is there a national park nearby? What kind of things? Is there a lake there, right? What kind of things make it unique? Go and highlight those things. Are there some back trails that someone can go on a hike to? Go and do those things, highlight those things, make content about those. I think that this pairs really, really well with that vlog, day in the life sort of content. So I'd heavily lean into that for your fourth style of content. Let's go into your fifth style of content. If you're targeting people that want to move to your region for maybe politics, maybe they want to know something interesting about the schools, right? What I would be doing is I would be targeting high-level people in the community to bring onto some sort of podcast. And here's why. Let's say that you get the mayor onto your podcast. Our goal is to be known as the local go-to guide for this city. If you can get that city's mayor onto your podcast and talk about the different things going on, he's there to promote the city, and you're there to promote your city and be known as the person that knows your city better than anybody else. That is ultimate leverage. So see if you can get the mayor on. Maybe you could get a school board member on. I don't know how the whole school system works, but if you can get someone that's on the school board, works in the school district, to come on your podcast and talk about the school district, talk about what changes they have coming up. Maybe you get those business owners from those restaurants onto your podcast and tell their backstory. Talk about them, highlight the community members in your place. Again, our goal is to be known as the community guide, the go-to guide for our community, right? So I think that would be huge, huge leverage, and it would make it for amazing content because you can do that as a podcast, as a long-form YouTube, and you can cut it up into clips to promote your business. So I think that podcast with local figures would be absolutely killer. All right, next question. What platforms should you be focused on? I think it completely depends on what your target market is. A lot of people I know refuse to be on TikTok. They refuse to be on TikTok because there's this stereotype that it's only for people that are going out and dancing and doing that sort of trend stuff. Absolutely not true. TikTok has a wide range of people that are on it, from 12 years old all the way up to 65 and 80 years old. People use TikTok and the demographic is large and wide. So I would highly suggest being on all of the platforms, but which one do you focus on? Totally depends on your target market. If you're targeting people between 45 and 60 years old, maybe that's kind of your niche right there. Maybe Facebook is better. Let's say you're targeting 45 to 60-year-olds, but they're people that are CEOs of tech, right? And they're people that are just higher up, kind of C-suite individuals. Maybe you want to go on LinkedIn more. I think generally speaking, though, the two best platforms as a realtor to post on are going to be Instagram and Facebook, mostly because they have that message feature, right? You're able to reach out to people directly and have conversations in your DMs, and it's super normal to do so. And Facebook is great for localized content as well. And there is a bit of an older demographic. And when we look at home buyers and people that have homes to sell, they generally tend to be in the older demographic. But I would highly suggest getting on TikTok as well because of the virability of that platform. You can go viral like that, and you don't just have to do different trends and different dances. We just had a video that got 85,000 views on TikTok. I think it's at 85,000 views right now on TikTok, and I'll pull it up for you guys here just so you can see. It got 85,000 views on TikTok, and it was not any sort of trendy content. It was us following around our electrician client as he goes through his day, and he was showing off this particular thing that it was installing a sub panel, right? Something that not a lot of people would have a lot of relatability to, but he was talking about this law and this guideline within this specific city, and it went crazy on YouTube. I think it's at almost 800,000 views now on YouTube. It's on 85,000, almost 100,000 on TikTok right now, and that's not a trend. So let's say you make one of those pieces of content, that day in the life content, and it gets 70,000 views on TikTok, 15,000 views on TikTok, 1 million views on TikTok. That's brand awareness. That's people in your vicinity because the algorithms are going to show it to people closer to you a lot of the times. That's 80,000 people that are seeing you, that are seeing your name, your face, your brand. That's power. That's leverage. So I would highly suggest using TikTok just because of its ability to go viral, regardless of what account size you have. This client, we had almost 0 followers for him. Now we have over 1,000 after this video, or we're close to 1,000. We're at like 980 something. We might be over 1,000 actually. I'll double check right now. Let's see. Here we go. As of right now, we're at 1,027, and that's after one big viral video. From almost 0 to 1,027 after one viral video. So you don't need to have a presence in order to go viral, in order to get followers. So go out and post the content. TikTok's a great platform. Highly suggest being on that, but Instagram and Facebook would be my main platforms that I focus on. Okay. Next question I am always getting from realtors about social media and about how to generate leads or make content is, how do I generate leads from the content, right? And there's 3 steps that I would take on this. Number 1 is I'd be utilizing my Instagram stories. As you post content every day, bringing value to people, when you're going through your day, let's say you're about to go show a home, take a picture of the home that you're about to show and post on your story and say, about to show a home to these clients. DM me if you've thought about moving to Livermore, moving to Dublin, moving to Pleasanton, moving to this city or that city. Literally just ask people. And your stories is a lot easier for people to reply to because it's more one-on-one personal communication. And if you do this relatively frequently and you post on your stories with other value-based stuff as well, more people are likely to reply. So utilize your stories and post your asks there, not just on your reels. But let's say that you did want to post a reel and try to get external exposure to get people to say, hey, you know what? I might want to buy a house. I might want to sell a house. Then all you have to do is make an organic ad. And I think a lot of people overcomplicate this and try to make it super fun and super goofy. At the end of the day, an ad is an ad, and not a ton of people are going to see it based on your, if you consider it or comp it against your value-based content. If you're asking, less people want to see an ask. They want to have fun. They want to be educated. They don't want to be sold to. So don't expect it to get the virality that another piece of content will, but still make the ask. I think that you can do something as simple as I've lived in San Francisco for over 3 years now, and I absolutely love it. Here's the 3 reasons why I love it. If you've ever thought about moving to San Francisco, comment down below and I'll see if I can help you live here. And then get into your video about why you love San Francisco. So you're mixing value and an ask all in one. But if you just wanted to ask, it's as simple as saying, I love living in San Francisco. If you've ever thought about moving here, DM me the word San Francisco, and I'll see if I can help you get here. It's something as simple as that, and post it as a reel. Don't overcomplicate it, just do it. But it's important to make sure that you're posting value first and then asking. Make sure that it is a predominantly value-based content strategy, not a sales-based content strategy. So try to bring more value than you ask, because if you're constantly asking, nobody's going to see your content. You need to have people see you, and you need to get awareness before you start asking people for business. It's a general concept. You got to build your network by bringing value. Once you have a larger network, then you can start asking and trying to get some business from it. So that's the general kind of rule when it comes to organic ads. Now let's talk about paid ads, because a lot of people will go on Zillow and pay hundreds and thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars to run Zillow ads in order to get leads coming into their phone. And the only way you get the lead is by answering the phone faster than a different person. Now, if we want to use social media with paid ads, this is the strategy I would use. Make your value-based content. When you have a video that does really, really well, run an ad against that video, but change out the call to action. Go in the caption and change it to something that the first line saying, comment San Francisco to move if you want to move to San Francisco. So you've got your value-based ad about a day in the life in San Francisco, and then immediately in the caption, it's a call to action. And then at the end of the video, now you add another call to action where it's just you talking straight to the camera. If you've ever thought about moving to San Francisco and this life looks like one that you would want to live, DM me the word San Francisco and we'll see how we can get you here. As simple as that. So you're taking this piece of content that you already know performs and people enjoy watching, and you're changing out the call to action to try to sell them on the back end. It's called leverage at the end of the day. And leverage is super important as a business owner. That's why you want to make more money, to hire more people so you get your time back, aka leverage. So running that ad on an overperforming piece of content, and overperforming means different things for different people. If you're used to getting 50 views, then a video that gets 500 to 1,000 views, that's overperforming. Maybe you decide to put $50 towards it. Maybe you decide to put $100 toward it, $150. Don't overdo it, but starting off on small sample sizes might be it for you. If you're used to getting 500 views, a video that gets 5,000 views, let's run an ad against that. Or for us, when we're making content for this client, we will absolutely be running an ad on this piece of content that got over, I think we're 800,000 views on YouTube. Why wouldn't we? Right? People like to see it. So let's change out the call to action. Plus, what's really cool about that piece of content is we mention the city that we're targeting as well, Livermore. So when we mention the city, we're going to get more people that are in that city to watch that video. So when we run an ad against it, we know that we're going to get that the ad's going to push it to these people, and these people are going to be interested because it's what we're talking about, and we already know that they like watching the video. So again, just leverage. We're hedging our bets. That is how I would generate leads on social media in this market. Super simple. I know it probably sounds complex, but that actually transitions us into this next section, which is how do I start? I think that if you have the budget, the best way to start is not to go on Fiverr or Upwork and find a freelancer. I would take that budget and I would hire an agency. And here's why. When you go hire a freelancer off of Upwork or Fiverr, you have to train that person to fit with you. And generally speaking, they have been trained by somebody else, and what that person wanted isn't what you would want. They're not always the best quality. I suggest hiring an agency instead, because that agency is going to act like a manager for you, and they're going to have the back-end systems in the team because they get proven results. It's like working with a big business versus a smaller business. A big business has the proven systems to be able to do it. A small business may not have the proven systems. You're going to have more personalization with the freelancer and less with the agency. But if you're looking for results, hiring the agency will get you there faster. Now, obviously, if you don't have the budget to go spend $3,000, $5,000 on an agency, some agencies you can get for $1,500. Rare that you're going to find that for every single day and it still be good. But $3,000 to $5,000 for every single day posting, that's what you're going to get results from. You can get a freelancer and pay them $1,000 and you can get something from it, but it's not going to be the same quality. Let's say that you end up hiring either one. You got to get someone to film you as well, right? So I highly suggest either A, getting your friend to film you, B, filming yourself, or hiring a videographer for $15 to $20 an hour, someone that works at a local high school or something, to film you once a week, twice a week maybe. So go hire a videographer to follow you around. If you have absolutely no budget, let's talk about that. Doing it yourself is absolutely okay. Start off with the content that you can do on your own. And that's the day in the life authentic content. Selfie style, recording as you go through the day from kind of like a POV where you're just recording the different things that you're doing. That stuff is super easy to start with. So start with what's manageable and work your way up. I understand that not everybody's making a ton of money right now, and that's perfectly fine. Just you posting every day, the first metric that I would be looking at is, are people telling me in real life, like, are they coming up to me when I'm out in public and saying, hey, I've been seeing your content? And I guarantee that's what's going to start happening if you post every single day, even if it's not the greatest quality. If it's even halfway decent, if you're following some of the strategies that I talked about today, you will start having people come up to you. And that is sign number one that you're doing the right thing. And when people start coming up to you saying that they're seeing you, well, now it just started a conversation. You can be like, dude, thank you so much. How have you been? Hey, I'd love to get together for a coffee with you. And then you talk about your business, you talk to them about what they're doing, and then all of a sudden you just gained a client. So it's a literal business development marketing, network marketing tool, just as much as it is a digital media tool. So that is exactly how I would start building out my strategy as a realtor. But at the end of the day, if you want to stay consistent, you've got to have fun. So find a way to make it fun for you. It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but find a way to make it fun and represent your brand in the way that you want to be represented. I think that if you do all those things, you're going to have a successful 2025 marketing your business. And I hope this helped you guys out. I'll see you guys on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those fun things. That way I can get this out to more people. And it shows me if you guys actually enjoyed this sort of content. I hope I put this together for you in a way that was actionable, that was easy for you to comprehend and go take action on. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Let's get some results. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.